Hello everybody, this is MTG here today with another Magic the Gathering video. In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Ikoria Commander 2020. When it comes to the release of a product, there are a bunch of different factors to go over. But first, let's break down what Commander 2020 is. Commander 2020 is the yearly Commander-based precons. Unlike previous years, Commander 2020 was released alongside another set, Ikoria Lair of Behemoths. With this comes a fundamental change to the product. It has lore based around Ikoria and mirrors themes from the main set as well. 2020 is the year of Commander, and as such, this is not the only change to the product. We also saw an increase from 4 precons to 5, and there's even more coming later this year. Reviewing a set can be a complicated process, and as such, I'm going to break it down into a couple of different categories. I want to break down this product looking at it from a couple different perspectives: value, fun, implementation, balance, and more. First, I want to talk about value. This is the most objective thing to talk about it, as it is mostly numbers. What you take of those numbers is kind of subjective, but the numbers themselves are the numbers. Looking at the values of the decks, they look pretty good. There are no crazy $20 cards, but there is a nice collection of cards that have a decent value. All of the decks are pretty well balanced, and if I were to suggest an improvement, it would be to put one bomb reprint, similar to Locust God, in each deck that was, before the printing, worth around $20 to $25. This would be a great place to get needed reprints out and add more value and incentive to buy. Moving away from that pretty objective topic, because I think you could probably come to those conclusions on your own, I want to talk about, are the decks fun? Should you go out and spend your money on these decks? Generally, I think the decks are pretty fun. You're able to have a blast playing them against each other, and it's overall a good experience. Where I think these decks fall short is when you play them against non-precons, but I think that's expected, and this has almost always been the case. If you know what you're buying, you're gonna have fun. Unless maybe you buy the humans deck, but we'll get into that here in a second. That leads me perfectly into my next point: balance. Overall, the precons are decently balanced, but there are clearly 1 or 2 decks that have the edge and 1 deck that is kinda weak. I'm looking at you, humans. This is pretty much going to be an extension of the fun category, as I am pretty much only looking at these precons when they're facing each other. I have seen them played and played with them outside of them facing each other, and like I said before, they're kinda lackluster. But that's not the point. The point of this product for players who are above a precon power level is to add new legendaries and support cards to the format. Overall, there's a bunch of cards that I'm super excited to build around and add to my commander decks. So yeah, the balance in terms of the cards being fairly powered, and I think any of the decks could win, is pretty good, and it is overall really fun. So, if you prefer humans, I'm saying it's probably the weakest deck, but there is a chance where there is a game where humans win against all the other precons. It's just generally the odds are stacked against the humans, but you could win with any of these. None of them are that far ahead. Now, there is one, which I think is the Calamax Instant deck, which I think really has a very high potential against the other decks, just with its insane value that it can accrue, but overall, I think that it is generally pretty balanced. Moving on to my next category, I want to talk about implementation. What I mean by that is, how was it announced, released, and so on. This is something I talk about very commonly in my reviews, but I don't really have that much to say about Commander 2020's implementation. Overall, they just announced the changes to it without trying to hype it up too much, which seems to be a problem. They like to hype up announcements. Spoiler season, and the product was delayed, but that wasn't their fault, and honestly was the correct move to do. One of my biggest complaints is that they did not try to do a tie-in with Arena. If they had included a code that just unlocked the legendaries, that would have been so awesome. I actually did a whole video covering that topic and how it could be done, card in the upper right. Moving on to the next category, I want to talk about some of the cards in this product that I really love. These may not be the most powerful or most broken, but they are what I think is fun to play, and what I'm really excited to play with. These are both new cards and reprints. Here are my top 10. We have Xyrus the Withering Storm, Zaxara the Exemplary, Glade Muse, Dismantling Wave, Molten Echoes, Netherborn Altar, Twinning Staff, Manascape Refractor, Arcane Signet, and Nesting Grounds. Now, I want to talk about some of the cards in this product that I dislike. These are the cards that I think are overly broken and just not fun to play against. Fierce Guardianship, Deadly Rolick, Avenging Hunt Bonder, and Slippery Bog Bonder. Now, I want to talk about how it feels compared to last year. Last year was actually the first year that I bought the pre-cons, and at the time I thought they were awesome. Looking back, they were kind of disappointing compared to this year. I don't look back and see cards that I go, wow, that looks really fun to build, but this year I do. I think it's a step in the right direction, and combining it with the set release works surprisingly well. One issue I have is that people only have so much money, and so having people have to buy 2 products now may cause a total reduction in spending and cause people to not get as many Magic products. You know, if you only have $100, you only have $100, no matter how many products you're splitting that between. So, you know, the main point of our review is, should you buy it? Do I think you should go out and spend your money on this product? Maybe. I mean, if you're not planning on playing them against each other, I think it could be fair just to order the singles. Now's a great time to order some Magic singles as the prices are pretty low. You may be able to just get the cards you want. Like if you wanted to build a Xyrus the Withering Storm deck, just order Xyrus. You don't have to get the whole deck. But if you're looking at the deck and you're like, well, you know, I could use a Locust God, and if you're getting somewhere close to the value of the deck, well then just get the deck. You get some fun new cards, and it's overall pretty decent in terms of value. So overall, I think it's really up to you. If you're in the mood for playing some precons against each other, or you just want to increase your collection, these are a great investment. If you're just looking for something you can throw a few cards in and get a quick upgraded commander deck that could actually throw some punches, get these. But if you're just seeing some of the cards and going like, wow, those are cool, you might be better off just getting the singles. So this is just a basic overview of everything I think about Commander 2020. The full Ikoria set review will be coming out soon, so subscribe and hit that bell to stay notified. Let me know what you thought of Commander 2020 in the comments down below, and hit that like button if you enjoyed. See you guys next time. Bye.